Is Ben Johnson about to shock the NFL world and become the best first-year head coach in 2025? That's the big question surrounding the Chicago Bears right now, and honestly, there's a whole lot of reason to believe the hype. When a respected analyst from ESPN broke down the best and worst moves for every team this offseason, he didn't hesitate. For the Bears, luring Ben Johnson out of Detroit and into the head coach's office at Hallis Hall was hands down the most impactful move. And let's not kid ourselves. This hire could change the direction of the entire franchise. Now, predicting how a first-time head coach is going to perform, that's always a gamble. It's not an exact science. We've seen hotshot coordinators flame out, and we've seen under-the-radar guys suddenly thrive. But Ben Johnson doesn't feel like a shot in the dark. He feels calculated. He feels prepared. This is a guy who spent the last few seasons turning Detroit's offense into one of the most explosive, creative, and efficient units in the NFL. He helped Jared Goff go from cast-off to Pro Bowl level again. He made a group of weapons look elite even before anyone thought they had that kind of ceiling. And maybe the biggest thing of all, he did it with his own system. Not something he inherited, not something he patched together. His offense, his identity. People forget this dude's been through the mud. He's seen how ugly the NFL can be. He was with Miami during some brutal years. He got fired. He had to rebuild his career from the bottom, starting as a quality control coach in Detroit when the franchise was flat out broken under Matt Patricia. But what did he do? He stuck around. Dan Campbell recognized his value and kept him on. And not only did he survive the chaos, he became one of the biggest pieces of the Lions' turnaround. Think about that. He helped take one of the worst teams in all of pro sports and transform it into a legitimate NFC contender. That kind of experience? You can't teach that. Now he walks into a Bears organization that's desperate for that. Same kind of turnaround. Chicago hasn't been relevant in what feels like forever. There's been moments, sure, flashes of hope, but nothing sustainable. Nothing that looked like it could actually bring long-term success. And here comes Ben Johnson, bringing a modern offensive mind, a system that works, a history of elevating talent, and maybe most importantly, a mentality that blends old school grit with new school innovation. He believes in analytics. He's aggressive. He'll go for it on fourth down, but at the same time, he doesn't let the locker room slip. He holds guys accountable. Just listen to what players and assistants have been saying during OTAs and minicamps. He's on them every day, pushing them. And the staff he put together, guys like Eric Bieniemy, Antoine Randall L., these are no-nonsense, hard-nosed football minds. They're not there to babysit. They're there to build something, and let's not act like he's just riding the coattails of talent. Yeah, Detroit's offense is loaded now, but that wasn't the case when Johnson first took over. Nobody looked at that roster and said, hey, this could be the number one offense in football. That development, that rise, that was coaching, that was design, that was leadership. And that's what Bears fans are hoping translates to Chicago. One of the most impressive things he did in Detroit was revive Jared Goff's career. Goff was already a decent quarterback. He had good years with Sean McVay in LA, but when things went sideways there, he looked cooked. Most people thought he was done as a high-level starter. Then he lands in Detroit, and under Ben Johnson, he looks sharper, more confident, more in control than ever. That doesn't happen by accident. That's not just Goff suddenly figuring things out. That's coaching. That's scheme. That's trust between quarterback and play caller. Ben Johnson's resume is stacked with that kind of proof. And yeah, there's always the unknown. No one knows for sure how a coordinator is going to adjust to being the guy, the one making all the decisions, dealing with the media, managing egos, handling adversity. But here's the thing. If Ben Johnson somehow turns out to be worse than Matt Eberflus, then I don't know what to tell you. Just burn the franchise to the ground and start over, because that would be next level cursed. It's just hard to imagine this being anything but an upgrade. Even if he's not a top 10 coach right away, he's got to be better. And if things go right, this could be the guy that finally brings some consistency and offensive firepower to a team that's been starving for it. So yeah, confidence is high. But let's not pretend everything's perfect. There are still roster questions, depth concerns, especially on the offensive line. And let's be honest, the Bears aren't walking into a soft schedule. It's going to be a grind, but that's also why this coaching change matters so much. In the NFL, games are often decided by razor-thin margins. A missed block, a bad timeout, a predictable play call. That's where coaching swings games. And now, for the first time in a long time, the Bears might actually be on the right side of that swing. And look, it's not just about Ben Johnson, the play designer. It's Ben Johnson, the builder. He's constructing something here. The staff, the attitude, the way they approach practice. It all feels different. You talk to people around the league and the respect is real. They know this guy's sharp. They know he's serious. And he's not just here to run a cute offense. He's here to win games. He's here to change the narrative. So with training camp on the horizon and preseason just weeks away, the anticipation in Chicago is hitting another level. And that's before we even get to potential moves and trades. Like if you look at what's happening with Tampa Bay, they're going to be missing Tristan Wirfs for a stretch. Could that mean a team like the Bucs might come calling for someone like Braxton Jones? Maybe. If Jones ends up losing a starting job in camp, and there's confidence in younger guys like Azzi Trapilo or Kieran Amigaji, then a trade wouldn't be shocking. Especially if the return is solid. We're not talking about flipping him for a late 7th. But if someone offers a 5th rounder, that's the kind of offer you at least think about. This kind of flexibility is a good sign. It means the Bears might finally have depth worth dealing from. That's a luxury. And speaking of young players, the draft class is looking more and more interesting. The Bears have some real potential here. You obviously want your first rounders to hit, no doubt. But it's guys like Trapilo that could quietly be the biggest difference makers. If he ends up locking down left tackle and becomes an upgrade over Braxton Jones, you've got your blind side protected on a rookie contract. And that changes everything. Suddenly the offensive line looks different. The run game opens up. The quarterback has time. That's how rebuilds accelerate. And don't sleep on some of these other picks either. The defensive front could get a boost from someone like Austin Booker or even Gervon Dexter taking that next step. The Bears have been lacking a true pass rush threat for a while. If one of these young guys hits, it could tilt the entire balance of the defense. Same goes for someone like Rome Odunze. If he develops quickly, you're giving your quarterback not just another weapon, but a future WR1 in the making. That kind of stuff adds up. You also have to consider the bigger picture. The division is up for grabs. Yeah, the Packers are well run. The Lions are tough. The Vikings are in transition. But there's no juggernaut in the NFC North. No one's running away with it. And if the Bears hit the ground running under Ben Johnson, if the young talent develops fast, if the defense gets just a little bit better, then we're talking about a team that could go from bottom feeder to playoff contender in one season. It's not impossible. It's happened before now. I'm not saying it's all going to click overnight. There's going to be bumps. There's going to be frustrating losses. But for once, it feels like the organization is moving with purpose. Like there's a plan. And for fans who've been stuck in this cycle of mediocre football for decades, that's a massive shift. The bar has been low for so long. Just showing signs of competence feels like a win. But if Ben Johnson is really who people think he is, this team might not be aiming for competence. They might be aiming a whole lot higher. Let me know in the comments. Are you confident in Ben Johnson? You believe he's the right guy to lead this team? Or are you still in wait and see mode? Because from what I'm seeing and hearing, the buzz is real. And it's only going to grow louder as we get closer to kickoff. Now shifting gears a bit, let's talk roster questions, trade speculation, and some potential moves the Bears could consider as we inch closer to the season. One question that popped up recently, and it's a good one, revolves around Braxton Jones and the idea that he might be on the move if the Buccaneers come calling, with Tampa expected to be without their all-pro left tackle Tristan Wirfs. For several weeks, you've got to wonder, would they reach out to Chicago for a stopgap solution? And if so, would the Bears actually listen? Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. There's been an exciting buzz around the Chicago Bears as rumors swirl that Kyzir White, a formidable presence on defense, has signed with the team and is poised to take command of the linebacker corps, while nothing has been officially confirmed. Yet, insiders suggest that the Bears are eyeing White to bring much-needed strength and leadership to their defense, potentially transforming their linebacker unit into a dominant force on the field. Kyzir White has built a reputation as a relentless and versatile linebacker, known for his physicality and ability to read the game at an elite level. Over recent seasons, he has impressed fans and analysts alike with his tackling prowess, coverage skills, and leadership qualities, making him a valuable asset for any defense hungry for consistency and toughness. The Bears, who have struggled to find that kind of stability and impact at linebacker, could be on the verge of securing a major boost in their defensive lineup. Speculation suggests that White's addition would give the Bears a player capable of not only anchoring their defense but also mentoring younger teammates and raising the overall intensity and cohesion of the unit. The Bears have been searching for a defensive leader to fill the void left by recent departures and injuries, and White's track record of durability and hard-hitting play fits the bill perfectly. If the rumors are true, his presence could energize the Bears' defensive scheme and contribute significantly to their quest for a playoff push. Fans and analysts are already debating how White's style will blend with the current Bears roster. Known for his aggressive tackling and smart coverage, White brings a rare combination of physicality and football IQ that could elevate Chicago's defense from inconsistent to formidable. While details about the contract remain speculative, the excitement around this potential signing points to the Bears making a strategic move to bolster their defense heading into the next season. Of course, as with all rumors, confirmation is key. But if Kyzir White does officially sign with Chicago, it could signal a turning point for the Bears, injecting fresh energy and leadership into a linebacker group hungry for identity and success. The chatter among insiders suggests that White's impact would be immediate and profound, possibly making Chicago's defense one of the toughest units to face in the league. For now, Bears fans will have to wait for official word, but the mere possibility of Kyzir White joining the team has sparked hope and anticipation. Could this be the defensive cornerstone the Bears have been seeking? Time will tell, but the buzz around this potential signing is definitely something to watch closely as the offseason unfolds. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.